Good day everyone, welcome to a new market update, and today it's a special update. We're going to discuss SafeMoon as Dave Portnoy has decided to go full ham on SafeMoon and spam everyone with that project. And everybody was thinking like, okay, we've got meme coins, we've got Elon Musk, now we're done, we can continue moving forward with the entire space. But hey, Dave Portnoy wanted to do it different. But today we're going to discuss Bitcoin. And there is a chance that Bitcoin is bottoming out at this stage, or at least comes to a bottom, in which altcoins are most likely going to continue. And you can see that the Bitcoin pairs of some of those altcoins are actually showing strength. So let's discuss Bitcoin. But before that, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm getting close to 100k subscribers, and at 100k I'm getting verified on YouTube. And by having that, I'll probably be easier to get verified on Instagram, and then the scammers are finally having zero chance. So let's get started. What do we see on the chart of Bitcoin? And as you have been joining my live stream yesterday, or maybe you've done it every Monday or Thursday at 19:30 Central European time, I am live streaming and discussing the markets while my coffee machine is now turning off. What do we see on the price structure in itself for Bitcoin? We do see that we've got a downtrend, so we can't deny that we are actually seeing one. We are also losing the 21-week MA on the weekly time frame. We might be getting into a market where the 21-week MA is not the critical indicator that we have to watch still. So that's what I discussed in the live stream yesterday as well. Price action is key. And what we see in that price action is that this previous high is the critical area. So we've got no test on this previous high. Most likely we're getting it now. And that would mean that we are getting a support resistance flip. Second, the area that is critical here is actually this entire region on a weekly time frame. But based on the daily, it's this green zone, as that's the breaker before we started to continue. And the topic of breakers I'm often discussing on the charts. And the past few updates I've done it as well. So let's put the critical area here. Critical area for support. That's the area that we should be sustaining if we want to have continuation. But then, still we are beneath the 21-week MA, and therefore the chances of a further sideways range for the coming period are substantial and very likely, given the fact that there are many resistances for Bitcoin to break through. And I'm one of those that is expecting a longer bull cycle to happen at this stage, given the fact that every bull cycle takes longer than the previous one. I still stand by that actual argument here. So what do we see? Resistance became resistance again at 60k. Critical breaker, that's the next resistance zone. Bounce on support, bounce on this area, rejected here, or made a breaker, fell further down, and now we're looking at support in this range. And we might be getting there already, but on a daily time frame, we are looking at a potential bottom in construction here. Then most likely, we are getting a bounce like this, and then we start to reverse, or we get another drop down, and we just consolidate, because it's very unlikely to have a breakout above those levels in one go, as there's just too many of those. And we know it from the halving period. It takes time before the market comes back into this range here. When we look at the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin, we can see that we still are in that downtrend. And the 4-hour doesn't really say too much. I think you have to zoom in some more to get the actual data going. And in this case, we can see that we've got a downtrend. We've shared this level here, which was critical, which is still critical, and we are still not breaking through it. However, on the downside, we are holding support here. So preferably, you want to see a higher low here, or you want to see 43.8 become support before we start to continue moving. So 43.8 becoming support here would indicate that we get another run towards the next resistance zone, which is that critical area on the daily time frame around 50k. However, given that that's a very critical level that we have to break through, I'm not assuming that we break through it in one go. So what should you be doing with your positions at this stage? I think you should just be holding on to them. And if you have the opportunity to buy the dip on some of those, you could be doing that as well. But at this stage, it's not a bear market. It's just a very healthy and organic correction inside a bull cycle. In 2017, we've seen multiple. In the equity markets, we've seen multiple. It's just a very healthy corrective move. And especially if you're trading altcoins, you want to focus on the Bitcoin pairs. And when you check those Bitcoin pairs, you can see that, for instance, Litecoin is actually in the green, while Bitcoin against USDT is in the red. So this high daily candle here is higher than 3 days ago, which means that Litecoin is dropping less in the US dollar pair. So the US dollar value that you have lost on your altcoins, while you remain stable on your Bitcoin value, means that the actual correction happened on Bitcoin USDT and is not a market-wide corrective move. So probably it's even an outlier, given that Elon Musk has been saying something. Maybe today Walmart is going to announce Bitcoin, who knows? But the fact is that altcoins are just continuing their momentum, and they started their bull cycle just now. So what's most likely going to happen with those altcoins? Most likely they are just going to continue their momentum when Bitcoin is bottomed out. And in that stage, Bitcoin is going to take around 2 months to just consolidate. And during those 2 months, altcoins will probably start outperforming Bitcoin and getting to the level where Bitcoin is right now, which is far above the 2017 all-time high. Does that mean that we can see altcoins going 10x or 30x? Yes, of course, we can. But all in all, I think we're going to see a corrective, or we can see a consolidative Bitcoin, and we're close to a bottoming construction, especially given the fact that the fear levels are on absolute skyrocket levels right now. Everybody's discussing an exit strategy, expecting Bitcoin to drop even further, while the actual people that are selling right now are the short-term new holders, as that the entire market momentum is new for them. It's the first real corrective move that they are experiencing, and the long-term holders are getting more positions going. So if we look at some smaller altcoins, and in this case we're looking at DIA, we can just see that nothing has changed. The 100 and 200 weekly or daily MAs are holding here for support, still in a very nice accumulation period, through which another test of this resistance zone around 1000 sats is most likely going to give us a breakout upwards to 2k, 2.7, or maybe even higher. And it's just an example of most of those altcoins, as Swipe, Kava, all those altcoins that are just going sideways, ZRX, XLM, they all show the exact same figure at this stage. So the chances of continuing the momentum, and especially when we look at XLM, we can see that we've got a rejection at the next resistance zone. It is very likely that we're just consolidating a little bit before we're going to continue. But all in all, we broke a 2-year-long sideways accumulation range through which a bullish impulse wave is likely going to continue. And even due to the corrective move, nothing has changed. I'm expecting that altcoins are going to continue running. So ignore the noise, follow your own path and your own plan, and assume that you're doing well. If you're losing money or underwater right now, evaluate what you have been doing wrong, but do not start tweaking it the other way around. Do not start thinking that you should be selling it earlier the next time because you're now underwater. Because if you're going to do that, you will be selling too early. It continues to move, you get FOMO, you lose money again, and then the entire cycle continues of trading. So, I hope you've enjoyed this update. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new update as well. And there's a new interview. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.